I did trim all of the notebooks, and as you can see, they are beautifully finished on both sides. When you open them, there is actually beautiful presentation for every single one of them. So now we can create our little packets right here. Okay, so to create the packets right here, I will use this paper. I don't think I'm gonna have enough, or maybe I will. Let's try and see how that's gonna work out. So the notebook is 8 1/4, so I will cut the height of 8 inches, and I should have enough for the packets. I need 5 packets. If you are putting together 4 notebooks, you're gonna need 7 packets. So each packet will be 2 1/2 inches. So I need 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is too small, too narrow, so I will use the leftover. Again, 8 inches tall by 2 1/2 inches wide. So I do have 5 packets. So these packets I will place right here. So let me work one at a time. So we are putting glue only on 3 sides, just a small strip of glue, just like that. So the side where the glue is, we're gonna put it right here. And as you can see, I'm not putting this all the way to the end. I'm trying to leave this little border just the way we have on those 2 sides. And I think actually this paper blends nicely with this brown. Okay, so we got one. Now we're gonna do the same thing in here. Only 3 sides. And where the glue is, that goes by the spine. Let's squish this to make sure everything adheres. Okay, so we got 2. Just pay attention to that glue. You don't want to put it on the wrong side because you're going to seal the packet. And the 5th one will be here. Again, glue side towards the spine. So now when you open it, the last page, you have your packets. Okay, so now we will create these little packets or little sleeves on each back side of our notebook. So as you can see, if this is the notebook, this is the back, and on every back we will create these, with exception of the last one. So to create those, we need to measure, because this might be a little bit off. So your front and the back, in this situation I see it, I glued this straight, so it should be fine. But if you glue it a little bit off, and maybe some other ones are a little bit off, it's always good to check. So in here it measures for me from the beginning of the page to the end, it's actually 5 1/16. I want the packets to be a little bit smaller, just so I can see a little bit of that border. So I will make them 4 3/4 wide. Now I'm also going to try to match the paper. So from the collection I'm using, I chose 2 of those for the background. This one I'm going to apply on the blue side, and this one I'm going to apply on the green side. So I think we said 4 3/4. Yes, 4 3/4. So 4 3/4, and this color I'm gonna need 4 3/4. Now I know that I'm using a lot of paper, but if this is something that you want to use entire year, I think you want to make it look really nice, arranged and organized, because you will be looking at it every single time you travel. So the first piece is going to be 2.5 inches. The second one we will make 1.5, and the third one we will make 1 inch. And we will do the same thing with the green sheet. 2.5 inches, 1.5, and 1 inch. Now, because in my collection I'm using only 3 notebooks, so I will position these right here and right here. If you would have 4 notebooks, you might want to choose another color for the 4th notebook. The last notebook, we are right now not doing anything with this one. Okay, so for those packets, I will use the leftover paper that I have. So the width is 4 3/4. So we will cut our pieces to 4.5. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use quite a few of them, so let me just pre-cut a whole bunch. 4.5. And we'll see if I need any more. So for the green pieces, for these, we will need width of 2 1/4. So let me see, 2 1/4. and we will need two of them because one is for green, another one is going to be for that darker piece. So we got two. Then for this piece we need 1 1/4, and we will also need two pieces. And for the last one we will need 3/4 of an inch, and we will also need two pieces, so 3/4 and 3/4 of an inch. Now the length, we said it will be 4 1/2 and 4 1/2. So now we will glue these pieces just like that with approximately 1/8 of an inch space all around it. So we have green background like this, and the smallest one like that, and now we have this one with the darker background. So we will glue all these pieces just the way they are. I will do that off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so you can see I glued all of these pieces together. So let me just push them to the side because I'm taking the blue one, and what I want to do is apply this darker border on the blue side just like this. And you see we are basically mimicking whatever we have done on the front cover. So now for the bottom piece we need to apply the glue only on 3 sides. Just like that, and make sure that the glue is on the bottom while you are gluing it. And believe me when I tell you, there is a reason why I'm saying that. I'm not sure if you have ever done this, but I have done it. And then I tried to put something in a packet and there was no packet because I put it upside down. So that's why I'm stressing to pay attention to the positioning of your glue. So now on this piece we're gonna do it only little strip on both sides. We're gonna leave little space and try to match the space in between both, just so it's the same on both sides. You want to make this space kind of even all across. Now we're gonna apply glue in here, and again little strip on the other side. I'm trying to position this approximately same space as I have on the bottom. And I must tell you that this one, I think it's coming out a lot nicer than the original one I created. So now, as you can see, I keep my journal the way it should be, so I don't mess up the pages. So now when I turn this one, this is the green one. So we will do the same thing for the green one. We apply glue on the bigger piece on 3 sides. Glue on the bottom. Let's make sure it's stuck. Now the next piece, glue only on the sides. You know, Mother's Day is coming up. Maybe this is something that your mom would like. How about your grandma that may be retired not too long ago and she loves to travel? I think that would be a beautiful gift I think this would be a beautiful gift for anybody who likes traveling. Even though maybe when you don't travel so much, there are still things that you maybe want to put into your journal. So those parts are glued. So as you can see, our traveling journal is coming along. Now we will work on those two sides. This is where I made the little packets for the little tools that I have. So it looks like we need to do one of these again on this side, and over here it's just gonna be the packet. So since I still have some of this beautiful paper left, I think I'm gonna use it for this side. And I also have this cardstock left, so I think I will use it with this. Actually, I like the green one. So let's measure this page. And I always want the background to show up a little bit. So I'm measuring only the sheet on the inside, which measures 6 and about 1/8. I want the packet to be a little bit smaller so I can see that this paper underneath kind of peeking on the side. So we're gonna cut this to 5 3/4. So let's cut 5 3/4. And now let me just trim this. We will do 2.5, 1.5, and 1 inch. So though this is the background for the design paper for the packets. So again, the width of this is 5 3/4. So design paper, we will cut to 5 3/4, 5.5. Put this away. So now we will cut strips. 2. I need to trim this a little bit. We're gonna cut this to 2 1/4. This will be to cover that. Then we will cut one piece, 1 1/4. That's gonna be to cover this piece. And now we need 3/4 of an inch. And that will be to cover this piece right here. And then cut straight. So let me just make sure that this is done straight. I might have to cut from longer piece because it's kind of twisting on me. And let me make sure that I got the, okay, this one, 5.5. So let me trim this. And now I need 3/4. Let's make sure this is straight. And that will be for the last small piece. So Let's glue this. So this will be for the bottom. So this is next. And here is the last one. I really love it the way this is coming out. I hope you like this also. If you like and enjoy this project, please hit like, share, comment and subscribe. I would really appreciate this. It really helps my channel grow and I really appreciate it. We're gonna position this one in here, kinda on the middle. I'm trying to make sure this is straight and approximately from side to side is also straight. We want nice presentation. Now, thanks to all of you, actually this week, I got my 1000 subscribers. I really appreciate so much. This means a lot to me. So thank you so much for supporting me, supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Without you, I wouldn't be here. So thank you for your support. So now this is the last piece right here. So the back portion is done. And now on this side, in my original one, this is the packet that I had. It's just simple packet. We could do something like that if that's what you like. Or you can just make it simple one like this. And since I'm using this paper on this side, I might make a packet just to match it. So I think I'm going to use this leftover piece that I have. So again, let's measure it. The width from one side to the other is 5 inches. So I'm going to make this 4 3/4. So we actually need paper 5 3/4. This one is a little bit wider. I will keep it the same way. Now the height of the packet, I think I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter. So I will make packet approximately 3.5 inches. So I will cut paper to 4 inches. And this one we need to score on 3 sides. So if this is going to be our packet, we will score on 3 sides. We will score it at 1/2 inch. Half. Let me turn around. The bottom 1/2 inch. Let me make sure this is half. Okay. And another side 1/2 inch. So now we will fold over our scores. And we will trim the corners. So this corner where we have 2 scores, you see this square? We will cut on an angle, just straight down. And we're going to do the same thing on this side, on an angle, just straight down. The other side, opposite side, we will cut it a little bit on an angle only to the score, or from the score to the edge. And this will be our packet that we will place right here. So let's apply the glue on all 3 sides. And I don't want to put it all the way to the bottom. I want to see a little bit of that paper all around. I think it just gives this little bit nicer look when you see the paper all around it. And as you can see, this paper is really matching very, very nicely. So when you open the page, you have very nice presentation on both sides. So this is perfect for this one. And this is perfect for this one right here. Maybe you want to put something else, it doesn't matter, but you can see it's a beautiful fit. So now we are still missing the calendar, and I showed you I made that little pocket kind of on the middle in between, and I can show you how to do that. I'm gonna make only one. If you want to make more, one for each notebook, that's fine. So what I did, I went to the middle of the notebook. So when you open it, you can actually see those staples. So what I did, it's really very, very simple. I just folded this from one corner to the middle, just like that, and I folded the opposite way. I'm trying to match up those two papers on this side, and I fold it just like that. Now you want this corner to be really nice, but it really doesn't matter too much. I still have some of this paper left, so maybe that's what I want to use. So I'm gonna put this, and this one is a little bit shorter than my page, but that's okay. But when I put it right here, you want to make sure that you have the same distance on this side and this side, or at least close to it. But we need to put it on the wrong side. And why we do that is because I cheated a little bit and I made it little marks on both sides so I know where I need to cut. So when I join all these lines that I just made, here and here, you can see that I just created this triangle. So if I cut this triangle, it's gonna match whatever the size of this is. So this is exactly how I'm gonna cut it. So now I will just cut this just along the line that I drew on both sides. So as you can see, now we have form that we can actually place it in here. Now this form is exactly as big as that triangle, which means we need to trim it a little bit. So I will trim approximately 1/4 of an inch. And now when I place it in here, you have nice border around it. So before we do that, I'm gonna put dab of glue right here, just so I can glue this together, because you are coming up with additional packet right in here. It's like a hidden packet. You want to use it or not, but it's there if you like it. So now I will just apply the glue and we will just glue this. And we gotta position this quickly because the glue dries really quick. So here is our little page. And what I have done in mine is I put it glue right here only, just a little bit of glue just on this side to keep those two pages together. And that's how I ended up with that little packet right here. So now the only thing we have to do is the calendar. So I think I'm gonna use the calendars that I made. You can make your own little calendar. You can actually make it in Excel file, or you can just draw the line the way I did it in here. Or maybe you can use some of these stencils if you have them to make the calendar right here. Maybe you want to make 1, 2, 3 if you want to use one notebook for a quarter of a year. So it's totally up to you. But the calendars that I made, and let me make it in order. So I had my May calendar right here. Now I always, every time I make something with different pages, I pay attention to the layout. How is that going to present itself? This one actually, I think this color really matches, so it could be just like that. Now for this one, I think what would really look nice, since we have this design right here and we have page left, we can cut out little moon or little round moon and place them just on the corners. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I will just cut out few of them, and they don't have to be the same ones. So it's really up to you what you want to do, how you want to decorate. So this is basically just giving you idea what you can do with your own journal. So I'm gonna cut this out and see I can position that just like this, just glue it on the corners. So let me cut this off camera and I will be right back and we will position this calendar. Okay, so I have my pieces cut out of different moon shapes. So now you could glue this permanently just like that, but what I did, I put little dabs of glue just on the edges, just so this could hold the calendar itself, just like that. So you can see you can still remove it and kind of slide it right in there. So we can do the same thing with this one. Just a little dab of glue in the corners. And I will position this one just so it grabs that corner of the calendar. Then we can position the bigger one right here. Again, just dab of the glue. And this one also. here, and this is just to hold this calendar in here. This one's not glued yet, so as you can see, it is just holding place for the calendar, and our page is done. So for this one, I got July, and because we have flowers in here, you can take leftover papers that you have and cut out some flowers. So let me cut some out and we will work on this page. Okay, so I did fussy cut some of the designs, and now we can position our calendar. So as you can see, I got some flowers, so we can put it here. And as you can see, I'm leaving the calendar so it could move freely. So maybe butterfly on this side. We got another flower, which I think I'm gonna glue it like this. So use your creativity when you do this, because there's a lot of different things you can do. And now maybe this about the moon. I think we can put the moon there. Right here, and we have our page done. And as you can see, everything is matching. So on this page we have the last calendar left, and I did fussy cut already a few things. So let's see, we can position this way. I also don't want to cover the calendar days, but this one we can put a little bit on the edge, just like that. This is bigger one, so maybe we position here. Because the whole point of it is just so that calendar is being held in place. Now you could also just glue it and put a little border around it, and that would be fine too. But if you do feel like playing a little bit, you can just do that. And I'm gonna place this one kind of here. And we have our next page done. So as you can see, the whole entire traveler journal is done. Mine has 3 notebooks. You could create another one or another 2. You can keep on adding them, because now we will work on the binding of the whole entire piece. But as you can see already, this came out nice. Everything is matching. You got plenty of room for storage, tucking some things in, writing, drawing, whatever you want to do. Okay, so now we need to put all these pages together. To do that, I guess you could use hole puncher to punch the holes, one of those single ones. I'm not too strong in my hands, so I have one of these gizmos, and this one actually is really nice because you can make different type of holes, and I like to use this one right here. So it is a little bit smaller than a punch hole, but this is what I'm gonna use. Now, to make sure that everything is positioned correctly or spaced out correctly, because this is dark, I'm gonna use one of these gizmos, but you could use any color marker, anything you like. So I'm gonna start with the first page, the front page. So the left hand side of the page, where you're gonna have your spine or your binding, this is where we're gonna make the holes. So in the one that I made previously, I measured about 1.5 inches from the edge. And if you want to make sure that you're positioning or marking this straight, what you could do, you could take a little bit of tape, this is removable tape, and just tape it up where you want your holes to actually be. So when I position the tape, I see that this is pretty much even. And now I will measure 1.5 inches from the beginning. So my 1.5 inches is actually here, and I need something a little bit darker, so I'm gonna use marker. So 1.5 inches, it's gonna be right here. So I'm putting mark not on a tape, but actually on the cover itself. So we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side, approximately 1.5 inches, and this is gonna be on a dark piece. So I'm gonna mark with my white marker. And now the measurements or the dimension between one hole and the other is approximately 5.5. So what I'm gonna try to do is actually space this out as even as I possibly can. I am not doing any type of calculations. So my 2 inches would be here, my 2 inches would be here. I'm gonna space this out a little bit. So as you can see it, I'm not really measuring. I'm trying to eyeball it to make it somewhat similar distance. So I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got 4 marks. So now when I'm gonna take my gizmo, and I don't know, I'm gonna try to show you, but I'm trying for that punch hole to come up and grab the marker that I created, and I have my hole. If it's off by a little bit, it's really not gonna make much difference, but try to make it as close as you can to grab that mark. So you see I'm cutting out where the mark was. This one is a little bit off center, but you're not going to be able to really see it when we put all of this together. So I got third, and here is my 4th hole. So now I will remove the tape, and what I'm gonna do, the dimension of the notepad is just about the same as the cover. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lay this flat, and I am taking my white marker, and I'm just marking the position where the holes should be. As you can see, they are not exactly even, but they are still on this portion. So I'm gonna do the same thing to all my pages. Okay, my third one. So you basically want to make sure that all your pages are gonna be punched around the same place. That's why I am comparing them to the first one. And this is gonna be the back, so I'm gonna do the same thing, but now I need my black marker and I'm just marking position of the holes that I need to make. So I am really trying to keep all of this in the same order that I originally had. So this is the cover. I'm gonna punch holes in this one. Okay, next one. All right, I got two more. Okay, so all of the holes are done. So I don't know if you can see it, they are pretty even. And what I will do, I will use this ribbon I purchased from Dollar Tree, I think. So in my previous travelers folder that I made, I used only two. I think the bow is gonna come out nicer if I use 3 strings. And what I do have like a crochet hook. That's what I used. So now I'm gonna put this through it, just wrap around that and try to bring this out. So now I'm gonna do the same thing to the second one, kinda wrap it around and try to bring this out. This one all the way, because we are trying to create that binding on the back. See, right now it seems like it's a little tight, but that's okay. So now next hole, wrap it around and try to bring this through. And we got the last hole. Just make sure that you are going through all of the pages. Bring this all the way through. Now, to make this a little bit stronger, what I did, you can see it that this one goes into the other side, it comes out, goes in, comes out. And now I'm gonna do the opposite. So it's still going from the front through the next hole, and it's going through the back. And then I will do the same thing. So what you're creating, you're putting this right in between right here. So the last one, let's bring this through. And now you can see it that it's trying to open up. And that's what it's supposed to do. So what you need to do, you need to loosen this up a little bit, just to give it a little bit flexibility. And if you see that this is now straight, now you can start, you can try to tighten this up a little bit. See, just like that. So when I put it down, I'm trying to open it, and it should open up easy. If it doesn't, that means it's too tight. So loosen up a little bit. It should open up flat, just like that. See? So you may have a little bit of resistance, but it should open up pretty easy. And here is the next one, and here is the final one. So now I'm gonna tie all of this together. I'm gonna make this just a little bit tighter, but not too tight. See, when this is picking up, it's too tight. So now I'm just gonna make a bow. And I'm sure you heard from previous videos, I am not bow maker, but this one, because of so many layers, I don't think it's that difficult. So let's make this nice. Okay, now we can trim the edges. And here is our travel journal. So when you start filling this up and writing in your journal, and you think that you need to create additional page, it's really easy, because what you do, I can put this in here, because really what you need to do is just remove this ribbon, make holes in your additional pages or additional notebooks, however many you want to make, and you just restring this and tie it. And here is our traveler's journal. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like the idea that I actually had of making this only with the ribbon. So if you like it, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like, share, comment and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And thanks to you, this week I reached 1,000 subscribers. Actually, I'm up to 1,200 now. So thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you keep coming back, I know you like them. So I appreciate every comment, every like, every subscribe. Thank you so much. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate this. Thank you so much, and I see you in my next video.